This is breaking news coming in from New York, where author Salman Rushdie has been attacked. This is in New York City. He was about to give a lecture this morning in New York time. And then we're given to understand that a news agency reporter who was a witness to this incident, he saw a man storm up the stage at the Chautauqua Institution, where Rushdie was due to give a lecture in New York this morning. He started punching and stabbing Rushdie as he was being introduced to the audience there. This is footage that's been put out by one of the news agencies. You can see Salman Rushdie on the stage. He then immediately collapsed, is what we're given to understand. He fell on the stage. Immediate medical treatment was given to him. The attacker was also surrounded by the law enforcement agencies, and he was surrounded and detained. Rushdie received first aid as well as medical treatment, and we're given to understand that he's been taken to hospital now, where he is receiving further treatment. So clearly, we don't know who this attacker is or what his motivations were, but this is what we know, that Salman Rushdie, award-winning author, novelist, and multiple-time Booker winner, someone who, of course, was the author behind the controversial Satanic Verses and many, many other novels and books. He was stabbed today in New York as he was about to deliver a lecture at a college in New York. Let me go across to Abhishek Jha, who tracks the MEA for us. Abhishek, what more details do we have about this attack that happened?
So, Zaka, clearly this is an incident which was clearly not being expected, because the event was a gathering of people, more literally inclined people, because Salman Rushdie, a acclaimed author and novelist who is very celebrated for his writing in the past, who was about to give a lecture. And in the middle of this event, a boy or a person storms into the stage, and he tries to punch him, and apparently he has also stabbed him, because in the pictures and the footages that are coming out from the scene, we are seeing that he has fallen on the stage. But then we have also learned that he was provided first aid on the stage, and probably after that he walked off the stage with some assistance. And his current situation is not well known whether he has been admitted or how much of injury actually he has been victim of. He's 75 years old, so clearly the person who has attacked him is very young, and it looks like he's very robust. And the kind of attack, the visuals that we have had, we have shown to audience also, looks like he must have got seriously injured, but we are not sure about him. We know that Salman Rushdie has been on target of radical Islamists for very long after the publishing of his famous book, The Satanic Verses, in late 80s. In fact, the erstwhile Iranian supreme leader had also announced a bounty on his head of almost $3 million, which was later on, after many years, it was increased to some more than $3 million. And this actually forced Salman Rushdie to live a life of, in hiding also for a very long time. But
Abhishek, give me a moment. What we're seeing on the left of our screen is pictures of Rushdie being lifted by air ambulance. He was given first aid and immediate treatment at the institution itself, right on stage where he was stabbed, after which he was taken off stage onto this air emergency ambulance, and he's now been taken to hospital. So what you're seeing on the left is that picture of the air ambulance. On the right, of course, is the images of Rushdie being stabbed and pushed on stage at the Chautauqua Institution, where he was due to give a lecture this morning. Do we know, Abhishek, any details about who the attacker was or what his motivations were? As you said, Rushdie, of course, was a figure of hate, if you will, for radical Islamist organizations and radical Islamist outfits all around the world. So do we know if this person, the attacker, belonged to any such institution, or was of that kind of a bent of mind or that predisposition, if you will? What do we know about the attacker or his motivations?
Zaka, it looks like the event has happened just maybe a couple of hours ago, and much of the detail, even about the Rushdie's health, we saw the picture how he's being lifted by the air ambulance. The kind of injuries he has sustained, or what is his condition right now, that is also not very much clear. And same way, The person who is believed to be the attacker was apprehended immediately because it was a huge gathering. Amphitheater was immediately people were evacuated from the place. That person was apprehended. He's in the custody, and we can assume that there must be interrogation going on, and soon we'll be able to know what were the motives behind this attack, whether this attack was a result of an organized institution or it was just a lone wolf attack of some manic person going berserk and hitting on this celebrated novelist.
All right. The pictures that you're seeing on the left are Rushdie being carried on a stretcher into this air ambulance, and then he was airlifted from this educational institution to a hospital where he's currently receiving treatment. This happened about 30 minutes ago, is what we're given to understand. There you can see people there of the institution and first responders carrying Salman Rushdie in that stretcher onto the air ambulance, and he's now been lifted by air, by that chopper, to a hospital where he will be receiving treatment. So this is what we know. He was due to give a lecture at the Chautauqua institution this morning. As he was being introduced on stage, a man walked up, stabbed Rushdie multiple times, pushed and shoved him. Rushdie immediately collapsed on stage. The attacker has been detained. He was immediately surrounded and pinned down, and of course he's now under detention. Police and law enforcement agencies are questioning him, figuring out who he is and what his motivations are. Meanwhile, Rushdie was given immediate first aid and first-hand treatment, after which he's now been stretchered out to that air ambulance, and he's been taken away to a hospital where he will receive treatment very soon. So that's the latest that we have on the story. We'll take a break on those pictures, but when we come back,